Belgium have had enough. The latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. In Belgium, a Flemish-language podcast platform called Podgrond is being formed by media companies Media House, DPG Media, SBS Belgium and the public broadcaster VRT, as a pushback against US tech companies. It's being given $1.5 million from the Flemish government. The problem, according to a newspaper article, is that the vast majority of podcast consumption comes from two international players, Apple and Spotify, with Flemish producers having little control over how their work is marketed and valued. Spotify's enterprise podcast host Megaphone wasn't delivering podcasts over the weekend. A content delivery issue on Saturday, which caused publishers to be unable to upload audio, was followed by podcast playback issues on Sunday. Podcasts were unavailable on various listener apps, a problem that appeared to take around 12 hours to fix. One Megaphone podcaster described it to us as a major outage. It's the 6th of this year. Podcast and music company AudioUp has raised almost $10 million in funding. The company has more than 30 podcasts and claims more than 40 million downloads over the last 2 years. Here's one bill you won't need to pay again: PodcastStudio Pro, a web-based planning and organisation app for podcasters, is removing its paid subscription and going free and ad-supported. Are you an audio fiction podcaster looking for others to follow on Mastodon? Well, Evo Terra has a form to share your details and a spreadsheet of others. Festival Estereo happened last month in Argentina, which is the largest podcast event in the country. Pablo Fischer has covered what happened at the event and links to videos and Twitter threads. Twitter removed Twitter Spaces for a while on Friday, apparently to fix an access bug. It's back now, though. Dan Schipper has built a chatbot trained on content from the popular Huberman Lab podcast. Podimo and Planeta Audio presented a new show, The Return of Tutankhamun, in Madrid. And in further reading, Nick Hilton posts the cheery 2022, the year that podcasting died, suggested that everyone's interested in video now. Former Anchor exec turned VC Michael Mignano said something about the future of podcasting isn't just audio. It's behind a paywall, though, and we like Michael Mignano, but we don't like him that much. Eric Newsom shares a forbidden word list describing podcast hosts, and the Wall Street Journal writes a piece about how some of the most successful podcasters have kept their day job. And a programming note: you're not going on vacation, so nor will we. We'll be here every day during the holiday period. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff. How does live podcasting work? Dave Jones has written an article explaining how the podcast live item tag works, by which you can send automated notifications to people who follow your podcast, letting them know that they can hear the show live. Podverse has added streaming sats to its latest mobile beta. The podcast app had previously only supported boosts. The full release of the app now also supports Apple CarPlay. In the Podcast Index API, the search by term endpoint now returns the pub date of the most recent item in the response. Albi has made it easier to top up your account, announcing a partnership with MoonPay. And Captivate supports OP3 and has done for a while. Many other podcast hosts let you type in prefixes yourself, but support here means additional UX to help you add services like this. And in podcast news, Germany's former leader, Angela Merkel, is to appear on the true crime podcast from SWR called Are We Talking About Murder? Instead of talking about real crimes, though, she'll be talking about fictional crimes within Richard Wagner's 4-part opera, Der Ring des Nibelungen. Everything Everywhere Daily's producer, Gary Arndt, has signed with Glassbox Media. Glassbox will serve as the exclusive advertising representative for the podcast and will work on positioning the podcast for television and other media. The show also just had its 10 millionth download. Podcasting 2.0 this week includes a lively discussion about in-app comments and the possible reason why they haven't yet happened in an app. And if you're traveling over the holiday period, our new podcast trailers feed will help you find the perfect new show to enjoy while you wait at the gate or get stuck in traffic. You'll find it at podnews.net/trailers. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.